Hey gamers, Gecko here. We are playing Entropy Effect with a Naoto run. As you might be able to see, there's no stream HUD or anything like that over the screen. I'm literally just doing a live commentary offline because I was like, I want to do a Naoto run and I want to make sure it's on the second channel because I haven't really been able to post any of the ones that I did on the actual stream. But I thought we could use this as a little bit of a live commentary type deal, something where I'm able to just chat, talk about what's on my mind, and play the little video game and see how it does, because YouTube demands content, and I am ever faithful. When the numbers go down, I have to do whatever I can to make sure they go back up. Such is my right. Such is my lot in life. Probably not going to be paying too much attention to the actual game, just picking up whatever I can and going as far as I can. Naoto's a bit of a weird character, if I'm entirely honest. He's very fun, don't get me wrong, but it feels like he needs a couple of potentials to really get going. And, like, don't get me wrong, I kind of fuck with him. Like, I think he's really, really fun. I think he's really interesting. But I don't exactly think he's the best. He's not, like, bullet level where everything just kind of works. Everything just functions and beats the shit out of everything in their way. Let's go for exchange point. We are on Entropy level 20 on the expert difficulty, so we are going to be trying to go and fight Izanami. Simply because it's the new thing to do. It's what you do in the game. I've really been liking Entropy Effect, if I'm entirely honest. I didn't actually expect to like it as much as I did. I remember I actually kind of panned the game when it first came out. I was one of the people who said it doesn't feel like Blaze Blue, the environment's all a little bit weird, I don't really mess with the combat system as much, I feel like just reusing animations. But then, like, they addressed a couple of things, they addressed more of the, like, gameplay side of the stuff I said. It used to be you maybe get 2 free potentials per run, and now you're getting about, like, 20. You get a lot of potentials in the game now. And you're able to do a lot with, like, the build system and everything. They made it so that strategies, tactics, I've forgotten the name of them, but like the not potentials are really, really important now. Tactics, they have these things. These do way, way, way more than they used to in the original Entropy Effects. They changed how everything works. I genuinely think they've changed it a lot for the better, and I really, really enjoy this game. It's why I've been playing it so much as of recently. The channel sort of got a little bit flooded with Entropy Effect, and I'm really not helping that case by playing even more of it and putting more Entropy Effect on the screen, but it's fine. I have a relatively good reason for that. I feel like most of you understand where this bit's going to be going. Everything's kind of weird. Everything's in a very weird spot when it comes to Arc System Works, and even just fighting games in general. It feels like every community in fighting games is kind of just waiting for the next thing. The next game, the next character, the next season. Everyone's kind of just waiting a little bit. Street Fighter, where everyone's obviously waiting for Alex. Alex is coming out near the end of the month. Guilty Gear, we're waiting for 2.0. There's not really, like... Well, no, there's news. We know I'm getting 2.0 news, but there's not much to talk about that I haven't already talked about. I've kind of milked 2.0 to death until they give us a little bit more to chew on, which Arxis are starting to put up a couple of things. They basically announced when we're going to be getting news. We'll be getting it on the Sunday, and I have a very, very fun surprise that I am just kind of waiting for the go-ahead to talk about, if I'm entirely honest. I think... Well, it's really cool for me. I think it's going to be cool for you guys. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be sick. But we are in this kind of weird waiting zone where I can't really talk about too much. Essentially, when 2.0 comes out, we're going to be like back on the full Guilty Gear grind for a little bit. We're going to be talking a lot about everything that's happening, everything that's changed, the new character that came out, all that kind of stuff. But until then, we're really not doing much. And that's kind of the thing I wanted to talk about. Everything's a little bit weird, not just on this channel, but on like every channel that I end up running. Probably the one that is best right now is Gwain, but Gwain's in a very weird spot where I'm so stressed about everything else, it's really hard to work on those kind of videos. This channel doesn't really have a base anymore. There's this thing in YouTube where you have your base. You have your home base that you can go back to whenever you're not entirely sure what to do, and you can just do stuff with that. Now, obviously, my base is Guilty Gear, supposedly. But the problem I've been having is that since I'm just kind of waiting for 2.0, I've not exactly been wanting to play the game too much. I love Guilty Gear, don't get me wrong, but it can be an objectively annoying video game if your head's not in the right space. I've had a lot of times in the past where I've just not really wanted to compete because different stuff has been happening. I've been through so many life-changing events in my early 20s that it's kind of made it hard to want to compete in the fighting game that I like all of the time. And it's led to a couple of issues. The biggest issues I've obviously been having is that things will happen, and I'll just kind of miss them because I'm too busy dealing with everything else that's going on. None of these are good. Let's just get rid of these. Let's get the little extra points. So it's all been a little bit weird, and I haven't laid the groundwork to really be going and doing anything else, which is why I was so excited when originally this game did as well as it could. If you don't know, the bullet video, the first Entropy Effect one I did, where I just did an advanced run and I was just unlocking it, actually did really, really well. Like, it's nearly like 10,000 views or some shit like that. It is done super well, super past expectations, and when I tried to go and sort of recreate that, it did not work. It's a very strange one. It's a very, very, very strange one. I understand that YouTube is a very strange kind of place. It's a very strange platform where sometimes things don't work out exactly as you expect them. Trust me, I've done this for so many years that I am just kind of used to expecting failure from a lot of things. But I did think that this was a surefire bet, and it didn't quite work. That's part of the reason I'm talking about all of this while doing an Entropy Effect video, because I kind of just assumed that most people wouldn't see this. This video is more for me in some ways than it is for you guys. But if it does well, and you guys are watching it, then I appreciate it. And to any of you that are watching this, I do genuinely appreciate you. I appreciate you a lot. I appreciate you with everything that you watch, and all the things that you share, and the fact that people care about me past do the funny Guilty Gear thing, Guilty Gear man. That is a bit of a problem that I've found with doing this job. Since I'm so attached to my home base, when nothing is happening in the home base, it's quite hard to do anything else. I've had several attempts in the past where I've tried to branch out, and with short of making an entire new thing for it, it's basically never worked, which is quite disheartening and quite upsetting. When you put a lot of time into a project, it's very easy to attach yourself to it. And sometimes the project just simply doesn't work out. And that's not a fault of anyone. It's probably, of all people, a fault of me more than anything. But it can be quite disheartening. I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. Guilty Gear's in a very weird spot, is essentially what I'm trying to say. Even branching out to other Arxis properties doesn't have that much of a guaranteed. And the obvious thought would be, well, why don't you simply go and play something else? And there's not really a lot happening anywhere else. Beyond the novelty of, hey, look, it's a Guilty Gear player playing something else, there's not really much going on. There's not really much I can bring to these tables. So I simply have to do what I can. That's kind of good. That's kind of good. That's kind of good. I'll take that. I will admit, I've had a rough couple of days thinking about all this, and I kind of just want to make sure I get it off my chest before everything happens with 2.0 and we go further into the future. But I was never making content with the idea that I would 100% be attached to a single game. I did start Gecko Scroll with the idea of I want to be in the fighting game community. But as the community evolves and gets older and things change in it, sometimes you can look at it and wonder if this is really a place that you want to be. And when those questions start coming up and it's becoming your career, it becomes a little bit worrying. Obviously, all of the stuff that's been happening with Kadia and Evo has really made me question sort of what I'm doing here. Part of me is simply thinking, what's the point? I am quite a socially aware person, would probably be the best way to say it. I'm not someone who's going out and processing all the time, mostly because I don't have the means to. This is my only source of income. And, well, it's not the best source of income, unfortunately. But I still have my ear to the ground with a lot of these kind of things. I know a lot of the stuff that ends up going on, and while I don't blow a lot of smoke about it, I am still aware of things. Not everything. Obviously, some stuff will slip past my grasp. I'm only human. But I'm aware enough to see what's happening with some aspects of this scene and get a little bit worried and think, is this really where I want to spend the rest of my life? Is this really where I want to go? I'm not quitting or anything, don't get me wrong. That would be career suicide at this point, if we're to be 100% honest. But branching out has always been something that I've partly wanted to do. To the point where, obviously, I made a new channel for the Final Fantasy stuff. There'll be a video on it soon enough, trust me. I just need to... Whew, I just need to get on it. But the videos I find myself making for Gecko Squirrel as well tend to be less and less about fighting games. Obviously, the latest video I made was entirely about Strive, and that was pretty much done on purpose, if they were to be entirely honest. But the video before that was more focused on Deadlock than anything, and the big video before that was based on Guilty Gear, but it was based off of a lot of different fighting games. And obviously, we had the Kosoge Hour over on this channel, which I will be getting back to at some point. I think it just ended up flooding the channel, which kind of Entropy Effect is doing now, if we're entirely honest. But I didn't want it to be the only thing that happened on this channel, and it started slowing down, and it started making it so that things weren't quite as viable. So I had to find another option. I guess moderation is something that I need to work on when it comes to these things. Finding what the good balance between doing what I think people want and expect of me and doing the things that I would like to do because I think they're cool is probably the thing that I need to work on the most. That doesn't really get us anything. This gets us something, though. Part of me has realized that most of this video has just basically become me dumping my insecurities and my thoughts about my job onto you guys. But it's a live commentary, isn't it? Let's be real. Unless I've got a story to tell. That's basically what live commentaries always end up being. And now we do more attack damage. Dude, fuck yes. It is very strange, though. I always wanted to do this as my job. When I was a kid, I would have never have admitted it. I wouldn't have admitted it to my parents or to, like, people who were asking me about job interviews and stuff. Like, if my teachers at school were like, what do you want to do for a living? And I went, I want to play video games on YouTube. They'd have looked at me like I was crazy. Like, they'd have looked at me like I was insane. But now, apparently, it's very common. Like, a lot of people want to do this job, which makes sense. I think it was something like, YouTuber is the second most sought after job in schools, something like that. It was a very large amount. It was a higher amount than I expected it to be. And it is kind of an awesome job at times. There are definitely people that I'm envious of, because it seems like they have the cooler version of this job. There are YouTubers that I used to watch, and some YouTubers that I still kind of watch, that essentially boot up a game like this, or Slay the Spire, or Binding of Isaac, or fucking a fighting game even, and they just kind of talk, and this is what they do. And it was a really common thing back when I was watching YouTube. The things that I grew up on were like Germa and Star TF2 live commentary, and that was what I wanted to do. And I remember being quite upset when it was like, oh my god, they're stopping doing these things. And obviously, you can't do the same thing forever. I'm literally talking about how I need to branch out. So as an adult, I get it. But I don't want to give this up. I've seen a lot of writings on walls before where it's been like, maybe I should think about doing something else. Maybe I should use my degree, as my mum put it. But I love this job. I love what it entails. I love what I do. I love that I can wake up and I can just kind of do things. Not necessarily things I want to do. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I wake up and I play Deadlock for 12 hours a day and then I make a video. No, it's a lot of work that doesn't necessarily convey itself onto the screen. Whenever I talk about like things in YouTube, I always use the word we, and I don't know why. It's always kind of confused me. I've always been like, oh, we're doing this, which makes it sound like there's a team behind me. There's never been a team behind me for YouTube. There's one video on this channel that was edited by a friend of mine when we were sort of dancing around the idea of maybe I could employ him. And the moment that video came up, and they were like, how much do you think you could pay me again? And I told them, they said, we can't do this. They said then and there, I'm not doing this. And honestly, fair fucks to them. Because I could not have paid them an actual editor's wage. Apart from that, it's basically been all me. I've had a couple of people help me with scripts in the past, being either entire segments that some people have written, which is very nice of them. One of the segments that was actually written in a video was written by the friend who edited that video for me. Thank you, Dottie, if you're seeing this. I really, really appreciate you for doing all that you've done for me in the past. But I'd say like 99.9% of the stuff on Gecko Squirrel and He's Gecking is me, and then obviously everything on Gwain is me. Like, I did all of that. So I don't know why I keep saying we. I say it constantly. I think part of it's because in streams, mostly, I feel like chat is a very big part of my streaming personality. I've noticed a lot when I'm playing fighting games, I interact with chat more than other FGC streamers, because I don't have the selling point of I'm good at the games. A lot of fighting game streams are, this player is very good. They're like the greatest player of this game, or they're like top 50, or they're top 5, or something like that. And for me, my selling point is he's entertaining. My unique selling point in the fighting game community is he doesn't shut the fuck up. He just kind of keeps yapping. Which is a thing that a lot of other scenes have had. I'm not going to sit and pretend that a lot of the Dragon Ball creators weren't well known for the simple fact of, yeah, they're decent at the game, but god, they're fucking funny. But when it comes to Strive and some other anime games, most of the time people just watch me because they think I'm entertaining. Would I agree with them? It depends on the day. The unfortunate problem is, a lot of the entertainment stuff I find is generally derived from chat. So maybe that's why I say we so much. I rely on you guys so fucking much to make an entertaining sequence in a stream. I'm not one of these streamers who can just think of a bit and then execute it immediately. I need, like, assistance. I sort of need a go-ahead for half of the bits I do on stream. I'm not sure if it always used to be like that. I remember doing a lot more bits when I was first starting out. But also I was living in a small room that had a bunch of black mold in it. So I don't know if I was making those bits or, like, the brainworms were making those bits, you know? It could have been a bit of give and take, but it was probably a lot of take. Sure, let's do fun enough. Why not? Maybe that's why I say we. it is a group effort in the way that I wouldn't be here without you. If you guys weren't watching, then I literally wouldn't exist. You know? So maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. This is all getting a little bit more deeper than I thought it was gonna. I was essentially like, I need to do a run of Naoto. And I need to talk. I need to get something out. And here we are. I'm just high-key kind of trauma dumping on you guys right now. I apologize for that, but I hope you guys are still enjoying it. Am I not getting any of the reds I want? What is going on? What is happening? Yeah, everything has been a little bit strange, a little bit weird. And it makes it hard to know what's going to happen, yeah? Makes it hard to plan things out. I do think this channel needs some kind of base, though. Because the unfortunate thing is, with Guilty Gear being the way it is, I can't just upload my tournament runs and have that be a base. Because I do a tournament a week if I'm able. I don't do what I used to do where I was entering about like 2-3 tournaments a week and playing all of those. I simply don't have that energy in me anymore. I still want to be good at Guilty Gear. And I enjoy the feeling of like winning in 10 sets. But Guilty Gear has been in my life for so long that I'm just kind of exhausted, I guess, is the best way to say it. It's going on like 5 years of playing the exact same game over and over. And if you look at other people who were around in Strive Season 1, they've all kind of moved on. There's definitely still players who are there. And there's like the, you know, the figures that you expect to see there. But a lot of the content creators, a lot of the people who were around in the original scene have kind of just gone and done their own thing. It is quite sad seeing your sort of like comrades in arms, the people who you were working with before, move on. But I also get it. Like, now that I'm like getting older, I say as I'm 26, I'm understanding like I can't do this forever. At least not Guilty Gear. I could do YouTube for the rest of my fucking life, and I'd be mad happy. But them sort of jumping shit when they did makes more sense now. I guess part of me's having a little bit of a little bit of remorse now that I'm here, still manning the ship. I guess not manning it, but still on the ship. Part of me's like, perhaps I should have gotten on one of those lifeboats a while ago. Ooh. Ow. I'm not trying to be whiny. I wish I had some immaculate plan. This is where every time I've had this crisis before, this sort of, I'm not sure what to do, I've come up with a genius plan. So I'm like, this 100% is going to restore my motivation. It's going to kiss me on the cheek. It's going to do my taxes. It's going to get me out of this rut. I'm going to feel great. But this time the plan is wait. And there is nothing more anxiety-inducing and stressful than knowing all you have to do is wait. All you have to do is sit there and wait. And oof, it is hard. I have so little health. We're gonna need to start getting some max HPs. I introduced one of my friends to this game relatively recently, and she's been showing me like all of her runs that have gotten really, really far. And she was showing me she's gotten to expert 100%. Like a 100 entropy expert. So what we're doing 5 times over. And she's like, yeah, the only fight that is really annoying is Reki. Once we get to Reki, I know that, like, once I get past Reki, I know I'm probably going to win, as long as I don't get hit by Izunami's bullshit. Which is really interesting to see, considering it took me forever to even get to a point where I'm like, oh yeah, I wanna do expert, I'm gonna finish it. I guess people do things at their own rate, and I'm pretty sure she's putting way more hours than I have already. It's always quite funny, you introduce your friends to something and then they surpass you, like, immediately. It's a million times, like, blitz past you. You got, like, 400 money, why not? I've also had this strange thing, I talked about this a little bit on stream. Whenever I get, like, sponsorship things, or I get, like, given a free code, which happens, like, relatively often, like, the free codes and stuff, people think I'm a roguelike content creator, which, like, I guess right now I am. Like, at this exact moment, I am literally making content in a roguelike. But it's always very strange. Like, I guess they just assume, oh, this guy is, like, not getting that many views. He talks about Entropy Effect. He must be a roguelike YouTuber. I guess there's so many of them that people just default to that. But it is very strange every time it happens. I thought about this a little bit on stream. I don't know if any of it's, like, gotten to YouTube. I used to hate this genre. I used to absolutely despise roguelikes. For the longest time, I was like, roguelikes aren't for me. I hate the whole genre. You are just trying to buff yourself to, like, ludicrous extremes. And you're getting lost because you can't find the enemy. Why do they keep spawning down here? Okay. I just blitzed past the area I was actually supposed to be. That was very stupid of me. But you just buff yourself to ridiculous degrees. You just make it so that you are ridiculously strong, and there's no way that you can lose. If it's like a card game one, you fish for legendaries. If it's Isaac, you fish for the crazy items, and then you just break the game. I was like, that's not for me. Like, there was a couple of ones that I liked in that kind of format. And it's definitely led to a thing I do really like. But originally, I was like, it's not for me. And a lot of that came from Isaac, if it were to be 100% real. Binding of Isaac really just soured me on the genre. I don't really know what it was. I just didn't like the... Most of my runs felt like they weren't really going anywhere. Like, a lot of the runs I did, it felt so item dependent. Even when I felt like I was playing well, I knew that I could have been getting, like, a brimstone and just absolutely annihilating everything that was in my path. But I wasn't, you know? I was getting things that just weren't helping me out. I was getting fucking milk. I was getting, like, fucking Democles or some dumb shit. I don't even know half the items. I don't even think I was playing when Democles was in the game. I think I was playing before it. But it always felt like terrible. I just didn't like it. I didn't see what my friends saw in the game. So I just went back and played the games that I liked. Which is what, you know, before everyone became so angry on the internet, that's what you did. You didn't like something, you went and played the thing that you did like. Instead of how it is nowadays, where you don't like something and now it's everyone else's problem. But yeah, I didn't like them for the longest time. And then Hades was the one that really sold me. It really made me think, you know what? Maybe I do like these things. Maybe there's not just a couple of exceptions. Because the exceptions before were the obvious one. Risk of Rain 2. That was the big exception. That was the one where I was like, yeah, I really like this. I don't think Balatro was actually out at that time. I figure, like, when Balatro came out, I was like, you know what? I do kind of like roguelikes, actually. I'll give it a shot. And that's why I gave it as much of a shot as I did. I really did like Balatro. I was just, unfortunately, really bad at it. God, I fucking love that game. I suck at making, like, good builds in Balatro. I have basically never actually broken that game. I think I got to, like, the fucking 4th chipset, something like that. It was a bit where they were like starting to merge. And I was on like the plasma deck, the one that's really, really broken, where everything like adds to itself. Like it all just, you know, everything's taken from both sides and then put on the same thing. So I was carried. I was still doing really bad. Well, I do like Balatro. I think a lot of it is like the game is just so juiced up. There's just so many numbers. There's just so much sound. It's just so satisfying. It feels like a great example of like, you don't need a lot. You really don't need a lot to make a game interesting or a game fun. It just needs to have that feel of like adrenaline, and you can do anything. The gameplay can be fucking whatever. Like, this might be a hot take. I think Uma Musume's gameplay is pretty bad. I don't think, I don't think it's like bad. Don't get me wrong. I do like Uma Musume. I like the whole, like, you go and you raise this horse, and you help them become, like, the best they can be, and you go with their roles. I always liked that, but I never understood why people kept playing. Apart from, like, a couple of niche things of, like, I won without paying money to get Haru to win her, like, final race. That I got. Like, if you have a bigger goal, if you have a full, like, career-long, near-impossible goal, I get it. Like, I understand that. I understand why you'd play that. I understand why you'd grind that out. But, like, after you're done with a character, I didn't really understand the appeal of continuing going. Unlike with something like this, where I actually, like, you know, I really like the gameplay of Entropy Effect. I think the gameplay is amazing. Where the fuck is she? Woo! Dude! Sorry, I'm, like, focusing a little bit because, Nanfire is actually kind of a hard boss. But I never really understood that kind of gameplay. And I can't even remember my original point. I think I'm just dogging on Uma Musume. I can't quite remember my point. But it's fine. I don't understand it for every roguelike. I'm not going to be like, every roguelike's amazing. It's all sick. Like, I still don't like Isaac. Ooh! I still mostly like Hades. I was actually playing Hades 2 as, like, my chill-out game. I basically have, like, a couple of games that are just for me. They're just games that I play. And I always play them, like, before, like, bed or something, you know? I always play them off-stream at, like, a weird time when it just convenience me. And it's got nothing to do with stream. And one of those was Hades. I made sure, like, Hades 2, I am not streaming this. I didn't even think it would be that good of a stream game for me, if I'm entirely honest. Like, a lot of the story stuff I end up streaming, I'm just so fucking locked in. Oh, I gotta heal. I just end up not really, like, paying that much attention to it. But I learned to like that. And, like, the big one I liked recently, that I actually kind of tried to stream, but didn't quite work out, was Mega Bonk. I really like Mega Bonk. I still, like, really like Mega Bonk. I still play it semi-regularly. It's one of the games I've been playing where it's like, if I need a break, I need a 20 to 30 minute break, I just put on Mega Bonk, and I really, really enjoy it. Yeah, I still can't remember what the point of it was for. I was literally thinking back of, like, why the fuck am I dogging on Uma Musume? I remember I was making a point and I've just forgotten it. I'm really bad at these live commentary things. This is why I don't do this much. I wanted to do this when 2XKO came out. Fun fact, I was gearing up to do live comms for 2XKO, and I was essentially going to do, like, a Dota Doya kind of thing, where I was like, you guys pick the characters I play, and I go in, and we just talk, and I try to make jokes, and I fail. Because I'm not a comedian, I'm a silly editing man. But I obviously didn't end up doing that, and the reason was because I was so locked in the 2XKO beta that I just, like, when I try, like, test fed it in there, it just didn't work. And it's why I'm doing it on Entropy Effect now. Because this game's really fun, but as you can probably tell by the fact that I'm basically not stopped yapping apart from that one boss fight, I don't need to think too much while playing it. I can kind of turn my brain off a little bit. My hands can do most of the work. I say as I don't get a perfect clear, which brings dishonor on my entire household. I will be hearing about this from someone later. No floating mind? Okay, thank God. Dude, fuck floating mind. I'd much rather fight Nan. Holy shit. I say that immediately get hit by the electricity. I'm very smart. Where the fuck are you, Nan? Okay, I think I can stand here. Thank you, Nan. Ooh, no I can't. Crap. The other problem I have with this game sometimes, I can never tell where the characters are actually going to end up. Like, why is she down there? Get up here. Let me fight you. It's really bad in Izanami. Izanami's terrible for it. Figuring out where Izanami's going to land and end up is utterly terrible. I hate it so much. The fight is very fun, but like reading where she's going to be and like predicting her next move, oh, it could be really bad. Let me do my awesome combo of attack, 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 attack. Thank you so much. Part of me does miss the old version of this area in the game. If you don't remember, this used to be a Metroidvania area. You would basically have like a full map, and it was like, hey, go find these things in this amount of time. Oh, there's floating mind. Oh, I thought I could escape it. I thought I was out, and it pulled me back in. God damn it. But yeah, this used to be like a full, proper, like, areas that you'd climb, and you'd have, like, special bosses in it. And you'd have to go and do, like, missions actually in the area. It was, like, the one bit of the old game that I really, really, really liked. My after image, I'm so fast that it's just stuck there. I haven't been able to play the story of Entropy Effect yet, so I haven't been able to make like a full proper review. Like, not the base story, I've finished Sky City. But I was gonna originally stream the X story, and as things sort of died down a little bit, I decided against it. But I'll probably go to it soon. It's always quite a bit of a weird one. Because I really want to give this game the time it deserves. Because I feel like it's, at this point, it's earned it, you know? I shouldn't have to rush something out about this game. If I talk about it again on the main channel, I should just be able to like take my time with it, talk about the things that I like about it, talk about how I feel about it. But the longer I wait, the more of like a who cares kind of moment it is, you know? Which is a damn shame, because I do care. I like it when developers listen to feedback and fix things in games, because I think that's really cool. And I really like the new fights. I really like Izanami. I really like the new like area. The new void is super cool. Reki no longer being an optional fight is so fucking sick. Because like you always have runs where you will fight her. Like you don't have a choice. You're fighting Reki. Which I think is fucking awesome, especially considering how like Susanoo just becomes a cakewalk so quickly. So I like a lot of things about this game. The actual gameplay of it, I'm really, really enjoying. But I would be a liar if I was to sit there and be like, I'm a BlazBlue lore aficionado, and I can tell you everything that all of this means in these games. Because I don't. I know the basics of BlazBlue lore. I know enough that you can know with like the broad strokes. I'm not about to sit here and play like 7 visual novels so that I can know every single thing that happens. We're very lucky that I know pretty much most of the Guilty Gear lore, if we're entirely honest, and that's because several bits of it are told in fighting games and not in visual novel form, and the ones that are shown in visual novel form I could watch on YouTube for completely free. Let me see you guys, by the way. There's a upload of the Strive story mode from Arxis to YouTube now. Which is quite funny because a lot of people just uploaded Strive story mode anyway. But they're like basically putting out the original story, which has got a couple of people, me included, thinking maybe we're going to be getting story elements in 2.0, which I'm a little bit like iffy on. The Strive team, well, the Guilty Gear team in general, seem to care a lot about the story. Like, a lot. And I know it's Daisuke's baby, and Daisuke fucking loves making dumb lore for Guilty Gear. He just absolutely loves making all sorts of new story and stuff. But there's not that many people I know that have actually come to the Guilty Gear for the story. They come for the characters, don't get me wrong. Like, oh my lord. Don't take this as me being like, you know, no one cares about things in Guilty Gear, no one cares about the lore, no one cares about the characters. People care. Like, the amount of people that have shown up to the scene and basically started playing Guilty Gear because they like how one or a few of the characters look is an absolutely insane amount of people. Oh my god, what the fuck? Whoosh. I didn't expect to do the fucking pile driver, what the hell? But the stories are always interesting to me, especially Strive ones. Strives are basically like movies, which I liked Another Story. I thought Another Story was really, really good. Another Story, like, essentially focuses on Baiken and Delilah, which I think was a really interesting pair, especially considering what happened to fucking Bedman with everything, Rip Bozo. Fucking dude lost to Robo-Kai. Robo-Kai. Imagine getting murked by Robo-Kai, bro. Oh my god. I'd never come back either. I'd never come back either. If I got taken out by like a fucking Robo-Kai like that, even if I was alive, you'd never see me again. I'd be gone. But I am, you know, interested. I just kind of wish from a gameplay aspect, from a fan of the Guilty Gear Strive gameplay, the other things might have a little bit more love and polish put into them, I guess would be the way to say it. Don't get me wrong, I love Strive's gameplay, but there is always a little bit of concern in the back of my head that I have, and I'm pretty sure other people also have, where it's sort of like, why are you doing this when we could be getting... We could, you know... We could be getting more stuff. We could have been getting the... replay takeover a little bit earlier. We took years to get, like, ranked. I can understand, like, the thing of a lot of people being like, why are we getting this? Why are we getting this of all things? But I'm sure there's some people who really enjoy it, and it's always like a funnish watch. Like, I'm not gonna knock it. Do I want another potential? Yeah, I do. I want another potential. I'm not gonna knock it, especially because, like, I don't know, there'll be more to talk about. It'll be fun, interesting, dumb lore things, you know. We might see a fucking child, like an actual child from Sol and Jacka, because they're so busy making fucking kids for Kai and Dizzy. They might finally end up being like, hey, what if, you know, what if we get a real new bad guy? Which I'd be down for, personally. I do like the trend of fighting games essentially, like, getting the new generation now, because, like, a lot of fighting games have been around for a very long time. So we're getting to the point where, like, yeah, you know, fucking Ryu's here, Ken's here, but, like, what if, hear me out. There was a merc called Luke. He was the main guy. I like it. I think it's a fun trend. I mostly like it because we're not losing everyone. Like, there's always a criticism, especially with Capcom. Capcom does this a lot, where they sort of, like, fetishize is the wrong word, but they mostly talk about, like, their older fighting games. Like, anytime that there's a Street Fighter crossover with anything, it's Street Fighter 2. Like, it is always Street Fighter 2, it is always Chun-Li, it is always Ryu. Like, there's very few crossover events that have characters that won in those old games. Sorry, I got confused because of the after image of me that's stuck in the corner again. Why are so many of my after images just like getting stuck? That's a really weird bug. But there's like that criticism to be made, especially if you're a fan of someone like Alex, who a lot of people are fans of, from the looks of it. God forbid you're a Hugo fan. You know? God forbid you're a Sean fan. Anyone, especially anyone that was sort of around in the Third Strike era. And God help you if you're an Abel fan from 4. Oh my lord. If you like Abel, you're eating ice soup, bro. That's all you're getting from Capcom. We didn't get the Enrage skip. That's unfortunate. Now I have to deal with a bunch of shadows. We're probably gonna lose a life. Oh no, we're fine. I tried to use a health tincture. I might just leave it for the lives, honestly. Oh my god, I dashed too early. Yeah, we'll just use a couple of escape deaths. Ugh, I love having DPs. It's just completely free dodges, you know. I don't want to deal with something. Yup, I'm up in the air. I'm up in the air. I'm not dealing with Ureki. Oh, it's such a good feeling. Just DPing through the attack, you know. Oh my god, wait, she's comboed. What the hell? Oh my lord. No matter how many times I see this boss, I'm still like shocked anytime a new attack hits me. Like, what the fuck is happening? Please. Becky, please. Becky, please. As long as she doesn't do like a teleport. Nope, she teleported. She got her clone to teleport on top of her. Yeah, I hate to see it. We should be fine to get this though. It's quite sad that we won't see it for like every game. I would be really interested to see, obviously Blaze was on the screen, but part of me would be really interested to see what happens to Blaze Blue now that everything's like resolved, you know? If you don't know, the end of Blaze Blue, spoiler for CF, but the world sort of was fixed. Essentially a big conflict in Blaze Blue. Oh, nice. Is that the world is essentially broken. Fundamentally, there are like things in the world that should not exist, and because they exist, the world will be, like, fucked forever, and we need to fix that. That's Central Fiction's, not key premise, but, like, a big part of it. So part of me is like, I wonder what would happen now that Central Fiction has been resolved, and things are in a state where, not that there's no evil in the world, Carl Clover still exists. But, you know, things are a lot better. Things are a lot more interesting. I feel we'll never really get there. I think that's a problem with a lot of fighting game franchises that people are really invested in. God, I can't imagine how much it must suck to be like if you were a big Darkstalkers fan. Oh, I'm so sorry. God. For the one boomer in the audience that was around when fucking Darkstalkers was a proper thing, who for some reason is watching the end of an Entropy Effect run. It's like, oh, I remember. I loved my Entropy Effect. My Entropy Effect? I loved my Darkstalkers lore. I loved it so much. It was so good. You don't understand. There was a vampire guy, and there was a vampire guy, and he was going to take over the world, and we don't know what happened to him. I don't actually know the lore of Darkstalkers. I know Morgan's Scottish, which I fuck with. I fuck with heavy. I love my Scottish vampire. But that's about it. Is she even a vampire? I literally don't even fucking know. Could not tell you. I've been telling people she's a vampire for years. I have no idea. This is why you should never trust YouTubers. We got no fucking idea what we're talking about. I'm literally just hitting buttons and Entropy. That's all I'm doing. And I'm winning. Give me the perfect play. Give me the perfect play. Flux, give me the perfect play. Oh! DPs make this game play itself sometimes. Yeah, I can only imagine how bad it must feel for some fans of things. It is quite weird because there's a lot of games that are like were thought to be dead that are starting to come back. The fact that Dead or Alive has come back from the grave is insanity. Like, I thought DOA was like done. Like done. I thought Last Stand was such a disaster that the company was just like, nah, we're done. And for a while that was like not an unprecedented opinion. Like, I played a tiny bit of it. 6 or 5? I gotta remember which number it is. I just know it was Last Stand. Because it was the game's last stand, and it didn't do well. And for the longest time, I was like, oh my god, it's over. Like, they fucked it up. And they're back. They're completely back. Right, DOA's always been a bit of a weird one. Like, I know people nowadays that are like, yeah, DOA's mad fun. But to me, DOA was always the game known for 2 things. I play quote-quote fighting games, and then they're playing extreme beach volleyball. And there was the one incident at EVO Japan where I think they were, like, advertising Last Stand on the main stage. And they had 2 Japanese models just start bouncing the boobies. And it was completely unprompted. Like, I'm pretty sure the models just did that. I think they just did that. But, like, that was what DOA was known for. It's like, oh, yeah. Someone described it as, I can't remember what it was. Like a certain type of wings. Where it was like, you didn't show up here because you were like, these are going to taste the greatest. That wasn't what got you in the door. I think it was like Hooters or something. I hate that restaurant. That restaurant's so weird. Why are you selling food to people based on, like, boobs? That, like, it doesn't make sense to me. Why would I want to, like, ogle a waitress? That's, sorry. This is fucking something I never understood. I've heard people say that their wings are nice, but I'm always kind of like, I don't know, dude. It's also not really a thing in the UK, so I don't have to worry about it. It's one of those wacky American things. One of those things you silly Yanks do, like Chipotle. Chipotle's barely a thing. There actually is a Chipotle in, like, the city center near where I live now. I got quite upset. I didn't get upset, but I was like, holy shit, the Yanks are invaded. I was like, oh my god. Because for the longest time, my excuse was we don't have Chipotle in the UK. That was a good enough excuse. That was enough to say to anyone. And you were just out. Like, no Yank would question you. But now, like, there's one near me, and they're like, you haven't tried Chipotle? Alright, Izanami, calm down. You haven't tried my slop bowl? How dare you? I will say, it seems like Chipotle isn't as big in the FGC anymore. I think, like, Sajam doesn't have a sponsorship with them anymore or something like that. Which I was like, holy crap. Let's do this. I can't believe I went this entire time. And I just didn't... This whole time, I didn't have my install. We only just got the install now. Yeah, let's do this. We didn't need it, to be fair. We've been doing really, really well. Like, I've been popping off. Considering that this was just supposed to be like a, alright, we'll go and we see how far we go. And we got to Izanami. I'll take it. I don't know if we're going to be able to beat her. But we will see. I will say, I feel much better now. Maybe it's because I'm like, holy crap. I can put Naoto versus Izanami in the thumbnail, which might not actually work. We'll probably just put Naoto in the thumbnail. Ow. Well, I don't know. I am feeling a lot better now. Thank you for listening to me, chat. I appreciate it. You, the like couple of chatters that are there, still watching this. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you all a lot. Again, this job wouldn't exist without all of you, so thank you. And let's fucking go into install. Or not. No, I can't DP out of this one. Am I pressing the wrong buttons? I think I am. Punish you. Okay. That's something I found I default onto a lot, is I just start saying the words of the characters and I'm like, I don't know what to say anymore. I really want to check to see what buttons it is. But I don't want to do it while fighting this one. I want to wait until we kill this, and then I can check the buttons. I swear it was these two. Okay, I think we get this. Yeah, alright. Real quick. Potential. X and B. Oh. These two. Anyway. Help! Yeah, I think I might have just wasted my install, but oh well. Honestly, the dodge was insane. Holy shit. Fuck. Never mind. This is the bit where this fight gets really, really annoying. I know this fight has a one-shot move. But it's not like Izanami's one-shot move where, like, you get, like, you actually just straight up get one-shot by it. Which I found out. Spoiler alert. Izanami has that. She has a I am beating your escape death move. Which I think is fucking insane. The fact that she's allowed to just have that. Thank you, game. I thought I was stood on top of it for a second, that was insane. Lock in, Gecko, lock in. Get this video run away from. That's the one-shot move. No, I got hit by it! Alright. I can't press anything. Because if I press anything, it'll like put me on the top of the skybox. Damn it. That looks so cool. Just take my escape there. Okay, I think we got it. Yeah, nice. All right. Easy. Now we have to go on to the actual hard fight. Come on, Izanami. Show me what you got. Yeah. I've lost interest. Blah, 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 blah. Me ignoring you. Come on, fucking fight. Crap, come on. Hell yeah. I'm glad I was able to get a Naoto run all this way. Fucking 20 entropy as well. Like, dude, hell yeah. Maybe I'll shoot for higher. I'll have to do 100 entropy one. An entropy run at some point. I've never tried them, even on advanced. Maybe we'll build up to that. Let me know if that's something you want to see. If you want to see how annoying these runs can get. I love how I'm just whiffing everything. Like, literally average Naoto player, just fucking whiffing. Like, what am I aiming at? Ow. Ugh, get the fuck off me. She needs to stop doing that. That's like, get on my nerves. Okay, put down the electric beam. Put down this second electric beam. Send her into it. Keep her in it. Keep her in it. Stay in there. Fuck. What do you mean she had burst? Garfield! Okay. I mean, we're fine. This just does a lot of damage. I hate those fireballs. Okay, run. We're on bullshit mode now. Punish you? Okay. I was gonna say, am I gonna get Astral? Or is like, no, that's not. That's not the Astral, thankfully. Where is she? Oh, she just left. She just decided to dip. You! Come on, game. How's that fair? Alright, this is the thing that's really annoying. We need to go sides, middle, then like we don't go through. Hell yeah. Strats, you're welcome. I was going to say that's the gecko dodge, but I imagine that's probably been named after something. Get off of me! Part of me's always wanted a bit of tech named after me, but I'm like, I don't lab enough to be able to be like, yeah, this is the gecko whatever. You know? Oop, oop. Okay. Halfway through. We just need to wait for her next rib cage. And then we can... Ow! Get hit by things. Get off of me, please! Okay, I think after the next escape death, we're going to have to use one of our tinctures, just because I want to make sure I have a decent amount of health. This is looking pretty good, though. Ignoring the fact that I keep getting hit by shit. If you've got enough escape deaths, you can basically just, like, go for anything, from what I've learned. They really are just making the things easy mode. I should probably try a run where I don't use escape deaths. I think that would be an interesting challenge to put myself in. We're about to die again. Yep. Okay, let's just like... What's this? Now we're looking decent. Okay, I think she's about to use rib cages. Yep, there they are. Alright. Now we need to be careful because whatever the tornadoes end up being. I don't know how to dodge this. I don't know if we can. It might just be a damage check, like a health check. Oh my god, what the fuck? Ooh! Ow. Okay, well that's not good. Was I always at 3? Was I at 4 before? I actually can't remember. That's not my concept. We might be able to just kill her before the tornado shows up. Nope, there they are. Oh my god, we dodged them. Okay, what's that? Holy crap. Izanami, you are dead. Goodbye. I said you are dead, and I said goodbye. I said you are dead, and I said goodbye. Come on, Izanami. There we go. Goodbye. Fucking waifu. Say wavy waver. I'm just walking back and forth. Hell yeah. I didn't expect to win that. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Well, the GG's. We did it. Thank you all for watching. Only 1994? I guess we didn't have that many reds. We didn't get any of the reds that I actually wanted, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the good YouTube stuff. If you want to see me do any more runs, let me know down in the comment section below. Hopefully this does well. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!